folks, and welcome into Weather Impact Live here. Meteorologist Ross Mumal. Monday, I was joined by, as normal, Chief Meteorologist Lewis Turner. Yesterday, we had Robert in here. Today, we have Lee. Welcome in, Lee. It's a little bit of a round-robin event in here with the Mets.
We like to keep you on your toes, Ross. So
yes,
good luck.
So. I figured maybe you were outside either at the beach or maybe just trying to soak up some of the warm weather out there because I know you're not a fan of the cold. This is the warmest day we have all week.
And I was absolutely walking laps in the parking lot around lunchtime. I mean, soaking in that warm weather. As I was also recording a video for our viewers talking about how it's not going to last long. We're talking about a big difference in just 12 hours or so.
That's what I was saying last night during the newscast. Today's phrase was like, seize the day.
Honestly.
Seize the moment while you can because, yeah, as you said, it's not going to last long. We do have a cold front working its way kind of into the northwestern quadrant of the first coast right now up towards the Okefenokee, and that'll reach kind of our back door here later on this evening. But first, let's just give you a live look. I believe we got a picture out at Mayport here. Comfortable looking skies, comfortable temperatures, lots of sunshine. Yeah, you got 72 degrees there, but perhaps the other story outside of the warm weather that we're currently experiencing is the wildfire risk that kind of sparked up, no pun intended, this past weekend. And has kind of just been a consistent theme here now through the first part of the week. I know yesterday we had, did we have the wildfire at yesterday? Oh, I guess on the west side.
It's like west side, right? And then overnight, was that when the Putnam County one started, Interlochen area?
Yeah, I think that was the second time for Interlochen because that was also on Saturday.
And then the smoke got so thick they couldn't go to school. And now we have one in Hilliard too.
Yeah, so this is the first, we have several going on. This is the one in Baker County, kind of right near Glen St. Mary between Sanderson and McClenny. And this goes from 145 until right now. You can see that plume of smoke going up pretty much right along I-10. So we do have a picture here for you. Still kind of smoldering there right along the highway. This was narrowed down to just one lane for I-10. I think they've reopened both lanes. It's just a shoulder that's closed. But yeah, you can still see kind of the smoke just kind of in the underbrush there, Lee.
Yeah, kind of creeping out from the trees. It looks very eerie, but I feel like it's probably positive that the lane has reopened. It means they're starting to get things under control. So at least that's a positive look. But Ross, I do just want to say too, I was going to say it off the top, while I have been enjoying the warm weather, and I know the cold weather's on the way. We need it because it's bringing rain, right? And so as we take a look around at all these other wildfires and brush fires that have been popping up, the Hilliard one, now it's a little hard to see on radar, but Ross, we did just get confirmation from the newsroom that it's still going. Okay. And that one, I feel like it was around 12:30, 1 o'clock. It started becoming very visible on the radar. And then look at that, southern St. John's and southern Putnam on the coast there. A couple more of those popping up. I mean, it's just, there's almost too many to count. We're keeping a close eye on the newsroom, of course, with the ones that are impacting people, like Baker County with the interstate and a few evacuations too.
Yeah, and we'll have news crews out there at all of these locations. So Interlochen, Hilliard, and Baker County. We'll have some different reporters and photographers out there giving you some live looks, talking to some of the folks who are going to be impacted. But, we talked a lot about it yesterday, Lee. I mean, kind of a worst case scenario with regards to overall conditions on the first coast. Dew points have been, on Monday they were in like the single digits and teens, so we're not that bad, but it's still pretty dry air, all things considered out there. So you combine the dry air, some breezy winds, and the drought conditions, it doesn't take much of a spark to ignite some of that kind of dead underbrush that died from some of the, the hard freezes that we've had over the past week or so. And then with the breeze, things can spread rather quickly out there.
Yeah, unfortunately. And so, I think overnight we're going to at least see some rain, but it's not enough rain or it's not long enough lived to really stop our fire danger and our fire risk over the next several days too, Ross.
Yeah, a slight reprieve perhaps tomorrow just because we are going to get some of that rain that you mentioned. So maybe dampen things down for a day or so. But with the gusty winds that we'll talk about here more in a second, that are going to kind of come in and across the first coast tomorrow and into Friday, that'll pretty much dry the surface off pretty fast. And then we're back to the dry, sunny, and, warmer weather, which is great news for most of us, you think, right? But when it comes to, that fire danger risk and threat, certainly not a great case. But here is a look at the satellite and radar, Lee. A look at the cold front and the rain that is going to be headed our way here, hopefully sooner rather than later.
And I do feel like it's kind of sped up a bit. Earlier, it was taking a really long time to move into Ware and Pierce counties. Then it really started overspreading the past hour or two. And so you can see now more of that rain moving in. It's more drizzle activity. It's not some widespread shield. You can see some gaps here and there, but the drizzles will continue to push east and southeast, and they will cover our area. So this morning, models were trying to say, hey, the rain's not going to arrive until overnight, around midnight for Jacksonville. But Ross, I don't know what you've seen. I've noticed some of the models trying to show an earlier arrival now, like this one right here. Yeah, 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe starting to move into Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 8 o'clock is kind of the sweet spot. Yeah, it's interesting. Last night it had it kind of moving in like 5 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then I saw some of the models this morning had it slowed down a lot and had it coming in, closer to like 11 p.m. at midnight, like you mentioned. And now it's kind of sped it back up again. So just kind of based on where it's at right now and it being, 4:30, I'm kind of thinking another 3 hours or so until that line starts to at least inch into the western sides of Duval County. So yeah, 7:30, 8 o'clock, if you're out and about, especially on the west sides of the 295 Beltway, might be getting to see some rain out there. But especially for the wildfire crews, or the firefighters, I should say, in Hilliard or in Baker County, hopefully some much needed rain there to help, try and stamp out some of those fires here this evening.
Yeah, well, a lot of us are kind of wrapping up dinner around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Hopefully that rain is nice and beneficial. And then it will continue for the rest of us. We are also just showing some of those wildfires along A1A down in southern St. John's and Flagler counties. That's more of an overnight situation for you. While a lot of us are sleeping, you're going to see more of that steady rain. It does look like it's going to clear out in time for the morning commute. Can't rule out just a few little drizzles or sprinkles out there still in the morning, and wet roadways. It will be cloudy, so it's more of a damp and dreary morning, but that steady rainfall does look like it's going to move out in time for the morning commute. And then the colder air moves in with it. So tomorrow morning, honestly, not too bad, Ross. It's not freezing tomorrow morning. The problem is the hours after that where we don't really warm up.
Yeah, we're pretty much going to be stuck in the mid 50s around Jacksonville, and I think that might be a struggle to reach. These fronts are always a little tricky, right? Because, sometimes, especially if the clouds remain locked in, you might only warm up like 10 degrees. So, we're starting the day off in the mid 40s. Perhaps we only hit 52, 53, and you think by the afternoon you might get a few more degrees, but yeah, instead you're just kind of locked in place in the cold.
And also let it be known that while we might be sitting at 54 degrees temporarily, we are going to feel like the 40s and maybe the low 50s at best because of the breeze. So yeah, you might get into the middle 50s, but it will be breezy out there. And so it's going to make it feel much cooler than it actually is too. And something interesting about this, okay, look at 8 a.m. now down to the 30s, and it was showing it being its coldest part even into 9, 10 a.m. So feeling, that's what I was seeing earlier, some of those feels like temperatures stuck in the 30s until 10 a.m. And then we try to warm up. Hopefully we get some of that cloud cover breaking up, trying to warm us up a bit. But then, as you can see there, your real field temperatures for some of you staying in the 30s in Southeast Georgia, 40s right along that I-10 line, 40s to 50s there. So quite a difference right along that interstate.
And I think this is an interesting map because it did this yesterday too. And this is just truly an honest question kind of what is your thinking here where like south of I-10 wind chills are in the 50s, whereas wind chills north of I-10 are like in the low 40s and upper 30s? Because of course, all of us are going to have pretty gusty northwest winds tomorrow. Do you think that's primarily just because of the cloud cover or really truly where that cold air is at and where it's not reached yet?
I think it's cloud cover personally, and that's why I don't fully, believe it's not to a T. Of course, it's not. It's a model, but I think I've seen that cold air arrive into Southeast Georgia so much earlier that I think it will have time to overspread our area. It's going to be more about that cloud cover breaking up. Who gets more sunshine? Personally, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I just found it interesting where we could have wind chills in the mid 50s in Palm Coast and Flagler County, and also wind chills in the mid 30s in Waycross in the middle of the afternoon.
I
So,
want to go on assignment to Palatka tomorrow, and not Waycross.
yes. Well, let's take a short break here. When we come back, we'll kind of talk about the freeze that's on the way by Friday morning and what you need to do for your plants. And then, of course, take a look ahead to the weekend. But first, let's take this quick short break. Welcome back in, folks. We've got colder air kind of rushing in thanks to these pretty gusty northwest winds tomorrow, about 15 to 20 miles per hour gusts, perhaps a little bit more than that, upwards of 25. But even into Friday, as the rain clears and, the temperatures will even warm up by Friday afternoon, still going to be a rather breezy day that if you got a loose hat or a wig that's not tied down on real tight, you might lose it out there.
Yeah, this is when I like to remind my fellow ladies: no dresses, no skirts. Not the day for it.
See, that's why we need to have a woman on the weather team, because that's something that I can guarantee you, Lou and I would never think about at 4:30 in here.
No, but that's okay. I'm just telling you now for next time. Remember us and the fact that, when you say hold on to your hats, also no dresses, no skirts, that Friday, and then even into Saturday too, by the way. I feel like it's going to be pretty breezy. But all right, freeze watch again. Back at it. Winter has returned for at least one morning.
Yeah, yet again. So there it is, Thursday night into Friday morning. So if you've got those sensitive plants, I know Jeannie Blaylock, she has been doing this religiously for the past week, going out and covering her plants with either bags or sheets or whatever it may be. You're going to want to do that again Thursday night before you head to bed Friday morning. It's pretty much, I would say, up and down Highway 17 and west of there, at least for northeastern Florida, and then all of southeast Georgia is included in that freeze watch. Maybe just some frost for the beaches and the St. Johns River Basin there, but everyone inlandly certainly has a good chance to at least see a light freeze there Friday morning.
Yeah, and I just want to say, when we talk about covering your plants, you also have to uncover your plants. I've been seeing this on my walks where people will they've kept the sheets over their plants thinking it's going to get cold again. But on Friday afternoon, when it gets up to 62, you could suffocate your plants. So please cover them up when it's freezing, but remove it as soon as possible when our temperatures move out of those freezing levels. And then, Yeah, there it is, 62. So it's not too bad in the afternoon. I feel like it's one of those wrap and peel days. You need the heavier coat in the morning with those freezing temperatures inland and frosty out by the beaches. But then by the afternoon, especially in the sun, because we do think we'll have plenty of sunshine on Friday. So when you're sitting in the sun at 62 degrees, it'll probably feel a bit warmer, a bit nicer until the wind blows. The wind is going to make it feel back down into the 50s.
The sun is such an, I don't know, underrated thing, at least for me. I always feel like, okay, I'll see 62 and I'm like, yeah, I'll still need a sweatshirt out there probably, especially with the wind. But I'll go somewhere where I have no airflow. And I'm just in the sun and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
I am baking in the heat. I got to take it off, you know?
And that just describes the First Coast so well too, because whether you're dressed appropriately for the morning temperatures too into the afternoon, or even in the afternoon, just shade versus sun versus wind, it's so different. It's so hard. When we say layers too, it's we mean t-shirt, then long sleeve shirt or sweater, and then a jacket. So you can sit comfortably if you take your lunch outside and are sitting in the sun. You're not just gonna sweat to death with your thick sweater on a Friday afternoon.
When this always happens to me for Jags games, or if you go to a Florida game or a Georgia game or whatever, the temperatures might not be that warm, they're in the 60s. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll take a light jacket. I mean, and we will tell people that because you will probably need it by the end of the second half, but by the second quarter, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm praying for a cloud to roll on by.
I will say the opposite happened to me for Florida, Georgia this year, because we talked about how
you got cold?
Warm up. And I was excited and ready. So I brought just a light jacket just in case. But we were in the shade the entire time, and I was cold the entire game because of the shade and where we were. And, your seats change every game. So I'm back at UF, on campus in the swamp. I know. I've been doing it for years. I know how hot or cool it will feel because I'm in direct sunlight there. But I guessed, and I guessed wrong, and I was so cold all game this past Florida, Georgia. So, yeah, just the difference between the shade and the sun and the wind. Sitting up high at a Jags game when you catch the wind, so much worse than down below.
Hey, well, maybe next year that'll just teach you that you need to sit in the red and black section rather than the orange and blue.
Okay, that was a funny dig, but just to remind you that they switch every year, so even if I switched it, end up in the same spot.
You'll sit in the opposite side of the stadium, and you'll actually be in the sun
again
next year. That's funny. Anyways, the weekend, Lee, I mean, chilly mornings, but pretty comfortable, warm afternoons. I mean, not a whole lot to be too concerned about out there. Mid-60s for your highs there. I'm
really looking forward to the weekend. I have plans to go on a bike ride. I kind of just soak it up because, like you said, with the sun, feeling better in the 60s. Middle 60s are going to feel way better than what we're going to feel tomorrow. And so I think I will be able to enjoy it. Fire risk still there. I had to pop that in at the top of Saturday just because it's something that is so top of mind right now.
And you mentioned those winds on Saturday.
And the winds, so 10 to 15 miles an hour, still breezy out there. And so again, a friendly reminder that we might say, hey, almost seasonal. 65, just a little bit cooler than normal, but lots of sunshine. Could feel great in the sun. But if the wind's blowing, especially if the wind's blowing in the shade, you're going to probably get a little bit of goosebumps, some chill bumps out there. And then Sunday, actually starting off a bit chillier, even though we might be a degree or two warmer in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think some somewhat drier air, but also calmer winds overnight might just help those temperatures drop a little bit further. But then it also do, the vice versa of that helps you warm back up by the afternoon too. So mid-60s there by your Sunday afternoon. We don't have a ton of event graphics going around here this weekend. One, if it does advance, there we go. We got a Sporting Jacks, which Lou did tell me on Monday. It is not Sporting Jacks FC.
Okay.
I apparently made that mistake before, as did he.
Okay.
So we have been informed it is just Sporting Jacks.
Just Sporting Jacks.
So I apologize for making that mistake sometime prior to now.
Shame.
But yeah, they're playing their second game of the season over at UNF at Hodges Stadium Saturday evening. Looks pretty nice for that. No rain in the forecast. And then, Lee, I mean, Sunday. It's the big day. It's the big game.
Here. This Sunday is going to be the first Super Bowl that I'm not working. So I actually get to just see what it's like to be at a Super Bowl watch party for the first time. So I'm really excited about it. And we will be inside because I will not be sitting outside as those temperatures fall through the 50s. I think, as we said, Sunday afternoon, a nice afternoon, but it will be cooling down pretty quickly. Now, if you're not a wimp and you're more like Ross, who can take the cold and might even like the cold, Ross, I feel like this is actually really nice weather to have the big TV set up outside.
Yeah.
Maybe like a fire pit going, something like that.
That is a good move. I think it depends a little bit. What's your vibe for your Super Bowl party? Are you just chilling? Are you cuddling up with a blanket and watching the game? Then maybe it's too cold. But if you've got the Jaeger on standby over on the side, then yeah, you're going to be warming yourself up. Maybe the temperatures.
You'll be totally fine.
Yeah, you'll be totally fine. Let's take another short break. When we come back, we'll kind of tie up and wrap up the 7-day and send Lee on her way to do the 5 o'clock news. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Every time I see... I got to put you on the spot really fast.
Yeah.
Who do you want to win?
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Shout out our assistant news director, Neil. He's been wearing a Seahawks jersey every single day this week.
He's not joking. Every single day.
No, I think he had a...
And last week, too, he wore it a lot. Someone wash that jersey.
He's got a Russell Wilson jersey on today. I forget who he had yesterday. He's got an old South Carolina player who's a rookie for them this year.
Oh.
Nick, I'm going to butcher his last name, Iwanari something. He's got a Sidney Jones jersey. He's got so many. It's actually crazy. But I digress.
Do we have any big Patriots fans in the building here?
I haven't. Joe Massa, maybe?
Okay.
He's from Boston, right? And like Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
She might be a Patriots fan. I don't know for sure, but I'm just basing that off of where I know they're from.
Okay.
Who are you going for?
I shouldn't publicly broadcast this because my new family, the family I married into, are a bunch of Patriots fans.
Oh.
I have never liked the Patriots, so I will quietly be cheering for the Seahawks.
Now, is it because you don't like the Patriots, or you didn't like Tom Brady when he was there for them?
Oh, that's a good question because I really liked seeing what Tom Brady did with the Bucks.
Okay.
I have so I think I definitely respected him more when he went there and turned that team around.
Yeah.
And I was probably just annoyed and jealous all the years that he was winning with the Patriots. So, and honestly, this is going to sound like such a girly thing too, but I like the colors better for Seattle.
Hey,
so I could wear I wear my favorite colors.
The green is clean. I like it. It's almost like green screen green.
It is. You're right. So we have to wear it for the game to cheer for them because we can't ever wear it at work.
Right. Well, here is a final look at your 7-day forecast. We've got about a minute left. Some showers rolling in tonight, Lee. We'll, of course, be covering that on First Coast News at 5, 5:36, 7, and 11. And, a chilly, windy day tomorrow with that freeze Friday morning. But beyond that, looking pretty good and also warmer.
Yeah, the weekend not looking bad. As we said, I like the weekend, but then I like next week even better as we get up into the 70s. Tuesday's my birthday, and that's like a perfect birthday present for me. Nice and warm.
All right.
75 degrees. I will take it.
Do you have plans outside for your birthday? Because, hopefully you do.
I haven't even planned anything for my birthday. But
your friends or family have something planned, I'm sure.
No,
right?
I had texted my mom. I was like, do you want to come take me to dinner? Yeah, last night. And she was like, I'll try.
Wait, is this a big birthday for you?
Yeah, don't age me.
Oh.
Don't age me here.
Oh.
But
does it end with a 0?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it is a big day.
So, I was kind of thinking, I love being